Happy Turkey Day, Boston Celtics fans. I know that a lot of you guys are spending time with family today, and I hope you are having a fantastic Thanksgiving. But there is NBA games to be played tomorrow that do actually have an impact on the NBA Cup. So I want to break that down here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports in the back half of the show. We're going to break down a couple of Kristaps Porzingis updates on what his recovery was like and what Brad Stevens had to say about the return of Kristaps Porzingis. So before we head and jump into all that, I do want to break down what we're dealing with here in terms of standings in the Boston Celtics group in the NBA Cup. So when you do look at the NBA East group, is what it's called, is that you have the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics, Chicago Bulls, and Cleveland Cavaliers, along with the Washington Wizards. This is the group that they are competing with to move on to the next round for the NBA Cup, which once again does have cash prize considerations. It's got bragging rights, and you want to have a little bit of friendly competition in the regular season to prove to the league that you're still dominant. But it does go hand in hand with Kristaps Porzingis because he is now back to compete in the last NBA Cup, which we play tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. And so let's break down really what's at stake here in terms of what happens in these games, because it's not just based on point differential, it is based on win record and lose record, and pretty much the best record in the NBA East C group advances to the knockout round. That's when they start to play different teams in other groups in the NBA Cup. So the competition does get a little bit heavier. But there are 6 group winners, of course, because there are 6 groups in the NBA, plus 2 wildcard teams that advance to the quarterfinals. So there are still several different showcases that the Boston Celtics can win in and can achieve to try and make it to there. But you do also have to realize that once that competition does get a lot harder, it gets a lot harder for the Boston Celtics to win. So after that, it does equal single elimination games. We did get knocked out last year by the Indiana Pacers, but we got the last laugh because we did sweep them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's go on ahead and take a look here at the Boston Celtics standings ahead of their final game in the NBA Cups. And I know this picture may be a little bit hard to see, but pretty much Boston Celtics are in second right now, with the Atlanta Hawks taking first place. They are both tied with 2 wins and 1 loss. Now, if there were to be a tiebreaker, the Atlanta Hawks do have the upper hand because they have beaten the Boston Celtics, but we can get in that to a little bit later. So really what we want here is we need the Atlanta Hawks to somehow fall because, of course, we did lose to the Atlanta Hawks when these cups first started. Without Trae Young, Dyson Daniels pretty much just took us to the rack and left no mercy. So here's what you need to know. The Celtics need to win against the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night, and we need the Cleveland Cavaliers to beat the Atlanta Hawks, which should end up happening because the Cleveland Cavaliers are technically the better team in the NBA Eastern Conference right now in terms of standings. So if the Atlanta Hawks lose and the Boston Celtics win, then we can be the winner of the Group C East group in the NBA. Of course, there are some tiebreakers at hand, but I don't want to bore you guys with that information just yet. If we do end up having a tie, then we can maybe make a video on this moving forward. So with that being said, I do want to go ahead and ask you guys here just one simple question. Can the Boston Celtics win the NBA Cup? Do you guys think we have the talent to go all the way? Type Y for yes, type N for no in the comment section down below. All right, we're also going to break down here a quick sponsor for you guys. If you're not playing PrizePicks yet, I don't know what you're doing. Honestly, this is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America, one that I'm playing every single game day. And if you guys want to join right now, well, you'll get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup using that code CLNS. Once you download the app, the easy part starts. All you guys have to do is just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You guys can pick in between professional and collegiate. We know that college basketball just started recently as well. And I know a lot of Turkey Day football is going on right now. So here are my prize picks for this upcoming slate. I do have Tyreek Hill to have at least 1 receiving yard in his Turkey Day game. PrizePicks is giving us a fat discount on a day where I typically feel the most fat, and that is Thanksgiving. So if you guys think Tyreek Hill is going to get 1 yard, well, then you win. That's pretty much a lock. I do have Pop Douglas, the Patriots wide receiver, to have more than 41.5 receiving yards. He had over 60 yards last week. And then Josh Jacobs to find his way to the end zone at least once, which he has done in several games already. If you see a little green guy there next to Josh Jacobs, that's because that's a goblin, which is an easier pick. The payout just isn't as much. But if you see a demon next to him, well, that's a harder pick, and the payout is a lot more. So if you guys want to go on ahead and test out your skills right now on PrizePicks, feel free to do so by downloading the app using promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Let's talk about Kristaps Porzingis, shall we? I'm still not over KP making his return on Monday to the NBA court and just looked absolutely seamless. Honestly, almost as if he had never even taken a day off, which was kind of what you wanted here from the Boston Celtics. I mean, that just goes to show the locker room. It goes to show that this offense, this defense can run with or without Porzingis, and they open him with arms wide open. They let him take as many shots as he needed, as many blocks, as many dunks as he wanted. But the only thing that was curious to me about his return was the timing of it all. Just a random announcement Monday afternoon, hey, Porzingis is back tonight, when this was not on his scheduled return date, which was supposed to be around Christmas, or at least in the month of December. Well, Brad Stevens had something to say about that. He said, first of all, you have to ramp up. You have to go through every rehab step, and then you also have to recondition to be able to play a 7 or 8 minute stretch like he did at the start of Monday's game. That's a pretty long stretch for a guy in his first time back, but he's been doing a lot. We assigned him to Maine last week. We actually brought the Maine team down to practice, so he played 32 minutes last Monday. He played 32 minutes again in D.C. in scrimmaging. And we knew he was going to be back Monday for the last week or so. So you sneaky GM Brad Stevens, you. God, we do love you, but man, you couldn't at least drop a little hint on us there? I had to find out from a Shams bomb. I thought we were closer than that, Brad. Even though he's never met me and doesn't know me, which is honestly his loss. But anyways, KP looked like he never skipped a beat. So when he came back Monday, my first thought was, oh, is he ready? But then I'm thinking here, you got Brad Stevens. You got a team of medical staff. You have doctors that are clearing him to play. And Porzingis looked like he was more than ready to come back. So this definitely wasn't a Sunday night, we'll see how you look tomorrow kind of thing. This was definitely planned. We just weren't in the know. And honestly, I kind of like that about the Boston Celtics. They move in silence, but they dominate so loud. And talking about how dominant they were, when Porzingis was playing on Monday, man, you forgot how good the Boston Celtics were, especially since it had been 210 days since that starting five had even played together of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis. So finally seeing that preferred starting five back together, you realize that spacing the floor looks a lot easier. The three ball falls a lot smoother, and man, oh man, do alley-oop dunks from Cookies and Cream, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis just feel a lot better right now in the NBA season. So I have this question, though, that I am glad that the Boston Celtics waited until he was fully cleared to return, but I did have that question of, did Kristaps Porzingis come back too early? Because the last thing you needed, especially with the Celtics only losing 3 games in the first 15 games of the season, I mean, they're fine. They're second in the Eastern Conference, in a very bad Eastern Conference right now. Did they bring him back too early just to say, hey, we brought him back, he's good to go? Well, the answer is no. But don't take it from me. Kristaps Porzingis actually talked after Monday's game about his recovery process, and he called it, quote, the easiest rehab he's been through. Porzingis, honestly, I would say it was one of the easiest rehabs for me. See? I didn't lie. The only thing was I had to stay off the ankle for 4 to 6 weeks, so it was tough just on one leg with the scooter. You know, you can't get up the stairs. God, I love Kristaps. It was a little bit difficult from that perspective, but once that moment passed and I was able to walk, honestly, it felt pretty natural. When I was playing Game 5, that was when it didn't feel natural. That was, of course, right ahead of when he had that surgery, which was later in June. That's when you could tell something was off. But once Dr. O'Malley fixed it, it felt supernatural. It just needed time to heal and get stronger. Well, now we're extremely excited that Kristaps Porzingis said that it was completely easy. He said that it felt natural. He is not foreign to rehabilitation. Of course, he is made of glass, and that brings me to my final point here. You just need KP to stay healthy. It is unreal that he came back in 5 months from this surgery, one of the rarest leg injuries in the world. Not to mention he played on it in the NBA Finals, which could have made it a little bit worse, but he's back. He looks fantastic. He was jumping, running, dunking, shooting. He was doing everything that all the players were doing on that court. It wasn't like that like handicap game where you're kind of like, oh, we have to take it slow because he just got back and, maybe like how it would have been in a scrimmage. But no, he looked great. Everybody seemed to be playing really tough against him. So if he can stay healthy, then I think the Boston Celtics are once again the most dangerous team in the NBA. But I have one last request here for all you guys on your Turkey Day. Then I'll let you go. Can the Celtics win the NBA Cup? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I do believe that they can do that, and I also already asked you guys that question. Give me a break. I'm self-producing. Spam me in the comment sections if you guys are happy Kristaps Porzingis is back. All right, I'm going to go eat some turkey now because obviously I need to take a nap. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in here to Celtics Today by Chat Sports. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. Spam me in the comment sections, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Celtics versus Bulls. We will be live here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. So all you guys have to do is hit that sub button.